Hi everyone, my name is Christina Goudie. I'm a graduate student at Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada. So I'm here to get you guys excited about wheelchair seating. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my research, past and present, as it relates to that topic. So I became involved in wheelchair seating about 5 years ago, and it was spawned from a simple conversation I had with someone about how design can help people. I started to understand the complications and complexities of wheelchair seating through that conversation. So based on my research at the time, I started to realize how many products on the market were failing to address the user's needs on a daily basis. So I decided to look into that a bit further. So I really think that was the turning point in my academic career because it really opened my eyes to a different way of thinking about design. My background was graphic design, actually. So medical product design had me approach the creative process in a completely different way. So where I saw that there was a need for innovative wheelchair seating, I thought it created an opportunity for me to move into that area and see what I could do with my creativity. So I began to understand the idea of co-design and how it was important to involve the end user in the early stages of design. It was less about me as a designer, and it was more about focusing on my target demographic. So up until that point, I had never really understood how creativity could translate into tangible medical products or assistive devices that could actually help people. So I developed a few prototypes to try and work out exactly how I would approach this project. Here you can see a few of my prototypes. I started with very basic materials, cardboard, foam, different types of materials, just to try and explore shape. So by the end of a few different variations, I actually came to a final prototype that I had developed. It's a working prototype. I simply called it ADAPT, Wheelchair Seating Solution. So my wheelchair seat was meant to address the issues that I still found were very problematic for users. So it was issues about adaptability, material compression rates, and sustainability. The cushion actually, it contains interchangeable layers, waterproof and sustainable materials, things that I found were lacking in products on the market at the time. So this wheelchair cushion that I designed as a university project really took off. It just kind of had a life of its own all of a sudden, and media grabbed a hold of it. And it was a kind of an interesting story how a graphic designer moved into this industrial design area of medical product design. I actually received an award for innovation in 2007 from the Junior Chamber International for my contribution and research in this area. That wheelchair seat acted as a great springboard to kind of catapult my research into my master's, and this is why I decided to pursue my master's, because I decided that this project and product, there was so much interest in it that I thought it was, and I loved it so much that I thought it might make a great thesis topic for me to pursue. So I took this from a university project, basically, and I'm trying now to make it into a full-fledged career for myself, because it's something that I don't want to get out of anytime soon. So the more I went into statistics and research recently, the more I realized that these products, it's great in Canada, North America, but there's a real need for these type of products in Central America, all over the world, especially in developing regions. So right now, specifically, I'm looking at Central America and parts of South Africa. So questions I'm asking are, how do we measure and understand the compounded factors in these areas? Elevated temperature, humidity, moisture. How do we grasp the elevated risks of pressure sore development, which is the major health risk for wheelchair users? And how do we make sure that people in developing countries have access to appropriate cushion design? So I've been consulting pretty closely with wheelchair experts all over the world, and they're guiding my research to ensure that I have the potential to accurately identify the basic areas of wheelchair seating that have been at points inadequately met in the past, especially for people in these regions. So the research challenges the user health risks and the topic sensitivity of wheelchair seating makes it a very intimidating type of an area to get into as a designer. But designers are pretty innovative, I like to think. We possess a real ability to visualize multiple solutions to very complex design issues. And now, through interdisciplinary design, I feel like we can move into different areas that were not accessible to us in the past. Biomedical engineering, medicine, different areas that we would never even think of maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So it's a real paradigm shift, I find. We've become an integral part of design teams in medicine, and we're in the process from the beginning now, right through to the end products. So it's really exciting to me to see students and other people dive deeper into this area of medical and disability design especially. Not only looking at aesthetics, but fundamental flaws of products in our everyday lives that we completely take for granted. I like how designers are addressing basic needs that are really not being met to some extent. And that's why we're all here today, because we all think that, and we feel that design impacts our lives in significant ways. So events like this are one of the reasons I love design, because it's about starting a dialogue, sharing our vision, and believing that creativity can create and affect positive change on a global scale. That's it for me. Thank you.